Welcome to Fjällräven Polar 2024. The journey starts now.
It's probably the most relaxed I've been for probably 4 or 5 years.
If you look around, we're on the top of the world.
I have no words.
I'm exhausted.
Welcome to this event where we're going to take you through all the requirements and the steps that you need to take in order to be part of Fjällräven Polar 2024. My name is Hård of Segerstad and I'm super proud to sit here together with Sofia Johansson. Most welcome.
Thank you so much. So we do have an exciting agenda ahead of us today. Of course, if you do have any questions, please just send them in and we're going to try to reply as soon as we can. We also have 3 secret guests coming into the studio. Very exciting. But most importantly of all, we're going to take you through how the application process works for Fjällräven Polar 2024.
Yes, so what is Fjällräven Polar? You have been around, tell us.
So Fjällräven Polar is really a 300-kilometer long dog sledding adventure up in the northern wilderness. We start in the northern part of Sweden and we're going to climb over the mountains and into Norway.
And how do you do that and wwhere do you sleep? What's the thing?
We travel with dogs on dog sleds. And we are staying outside, camping in tents. And I'm pretty sure that most of the participants that has taken part so far, some have never slept in tents before, not in summer and definitely not in wintertime. So that can be a bit of a challenge. But Carl, what's your point of view? I mean, everyone has managed so far, but it is a challenge. But tell a bit more about that.
Yeah, it's a challenge for sure, but I think really our aim with this is to prove that basically anybody without any prior experience, no equipment of your own or any knowledge about outdoor activities in specific really can take part in this because we happen to possess all those needed requirements. You know, we have the equipment, we have the experience, and we have the know-how, and we just love to share it. And just to make winter outdoors more accessible and to inspire more people to really spend time out in the wintertime.
And that is also something that we can see every year, that the first 24 hours of this adventure is often quite challenging because everyone is doing everything for the first time. But then already the second day, everything turns a little bit easier step by step. And I think that's incredible to see.
It's a steep learning curve, but what do you think are the most required skills that you have to develop?
I think the most required skill is just to be able to see the whole puzzle. There is a challenge for sure that you are driving a team of dogs. You have to take care of the dogs. That's the prior thing, but then you don't have to. You can't forget to take care of yourself either, because that's when it's going downhill, I think.
And then you work in a group of other peoples, and also of course the dogs, and to make all those pieces work together in a seamless flow. It's like when that happens, it's the magic, I think.
So you said a little bit about it, the application. Can you just take us through quickly how the process works?
Yeah, basically anybody can apply, and you do that. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. All the steps that you need to do, the different dates, and we're going to basically post 3 challenges on Instagram that you respond to, and those challenges will be determined by a jury who is actually being selected to the 20 spots that we have for the adventure in 2024. So we have 20 people going with us.
Who is the jury?
The jury is former participants and the people from Fjällräven that knows what it takes to actually do this expedition.
So before we kick this off and invite our friends into the studio, why do you think someone should apply for Fjällräven Polar?
So I think it's just a fantastic environment, and it's a great experience to travel together with dogs and to be dependent on the dogs, to be dependent on your teammates, and to develop that very special teamwork that is required both between the people and the dogs. And in this environment, it builds up to an experience that is hard to find these days, I would say. Yeah, so that's, if you like the challenge, we have it. So come join us. We have a guest in the studio. Most welcome, John Aish.
Thank you.
So great to see you again.
I'm so happy to be here. Very excited to be here, to be back in the studio with you guys. Remember all the good things we had in Polar. It was amazing, an amazing experience for me. So still today, on this day, I'm still remember like it was yesterday. So it's amazing.
Yes, you were a part of the expedition in 2023. And can you just tell us a little bit about your experience, what it was like to be a part of Fjällräven Polar?
So many things. The first thing is that Fjällräven Polar is getting you out of your comfort zone. So that's what I wanted, and it delivered. So I applied. So first it was the application, as you mentioned before. And I applied without knowing anything about Polar. I knew about Fjällräven, but nothing about Polar. And when I won, was very happy, of course, very, very happy, but didn't expect what I've seen YouTube videos and stuff, but didn't expect what would be the challenge and what would be to be, what it would be like to be there. Sorry, and the Polar really did something, I can say. But first, you need to start somewhere. And what was it to be there on the first days? So first day is adaptation. You need to understand the environment you're living in and how to use your gears, because the gears are very important. That's what's gonna keep you warm and make you want to, if you, let's say you're cold and you need to use the right type of gloves. We have many gloves, so you need to understand which gloves you need to wear, which one not to wear and stuff. So, for example, I've seen people on this first day wearing the working gloves for traveling. That's a good idea, but that was the mistake. But you learn very fast from your mistakes. That's something that's gonna happen, but you, in this situation, in this harsh environment, you learn very fast how to adapt to it, to understand your gears, what you need to do, what not to do. That's it for me.
So, can you recall the feeling you had when you came up north and to the cold environment?
So I was very excited. First of all, because I had my backpack full of gears and everything, but also to be like, okay, I'm there. I need to be here. And the thing is that there is no going back. I won this. What did I win? I will find out. So then you meet the dogs. The dogs are barking. They're happy. They just want to go race and stuff. And you meet the musher. It was Roy, my musher. Roy is a very, very good, very experienced musher. And he told us exactly what to do, what not to do with the dogs. And then we went. And it was amazing.
The first night out in the winter, how was that for you?
So first there were two criteria that made it a nightmare, but it was a good nightmare, I would say. It was the fact that the dogs were so happy to be there, so they were yelling and barking and everything. So every 15 minutes, so we could not very much sleep unless you have earplugs. I had the earplugs, but I didn't wear them because, as well as I mentioned, the gears, you need to adjust to your gears, and even the plugs are very important. So that's what I learned. And the other thing was that I couldn't get my shoulders in the sleeping bag correctly, so I was cold on this side all the time. So then I need to adjust to that, and I understood later on how to do that. For example, for me, it was putting just the parka on and not the sleeping bag, just on the waist, and I slept like a baby. But it was amazing. But it was hard for me at the beginning, so that was it.
And how about the relationship with the dogs? What experience did you have before?
I'm very well experienced with dogs because I had dogs in the past when I was a child, and a lot of them. So I knew how to deal with dogs. But the difference between my dogs, even though it's the dogs we had at Polar were dogs from Roy breed them, and they were a mix between Huskies and Border Collier. And I used to have Border Collier, so they're very gentle dogs, and these ones were no exception. So yeah, they were very nice, very gentle to each other, no fighting, nothing, and they just and they were also very shy to us at the beginning because they didn't know us, they just know the musher. And they didn't know who we were and what we were doing here. So then you have to be gentle with them, understand how they react, and then get used to you, and you feed them as well in the future, and then that's it.
So at Fjällräven Polar, you work in teams. So you share tent with another person, and then you have 4 people that work together with the musher, and you were traveling with Roy. So tell us a little bit about that teamwork and the people that you have to cooperate with.
So first of all, it's people that you don't know, even though you have chatted. We've chatted before on social media, everything. But this is people that you just met, and you're gonna spend 5 days with them, and you're gonna make the most out of it. So in a sense, when we were so excited, so the excitement brings everything good to you anyway. But then we arrive on site, and then you need to adjust to the environment. Each one of us had to adjust to it. So in a sense, it was, for example, there was this story about the spoon. And Catherine lost the spoon because she put the spoon on a sled, but she thought it was me who took the spoon because she saw me with her spoon once and stuff. So she was very confused and stuff. Then we realized the spoon was there. But it can create a little bit of tension out of nothing. But you need to work it out. You need to be like positive all the time. Remind yourself to be, to try to be positive. So that's everything, because it's an opportunity that a lot of people wanted to have, like 15,000 people wanted to have, and you're there, so you make the most out of it. And the fact that you help one another finding a solution and stuff, helping with the gears, or helping with the understanding what to do, classes or whatever. you're just there for one another, and that's the most important thing.
Okay, John, so we asked you to bring your favorite piece of clothing that you wore during Fjällräven Polar. Can you show us?
Yes, of course. So this is the parka. I think it's everyone's favorite, I will recognize. It's our favorite because it's very, very efficient when it comes to cold. It keeps you warm, like you want to live inside this jacket. I used that jacket. I had a time where I was adjusting because as I said before, I was having a hard time to sleep and stuff. So being in this jacket is like a walking sleeping bag in a sense, and that's really a very, very good assets to have on you and be out in nature in this minus 25, 30 degrees.
So I think a lot of people, they think that, oh, you would need to wear this all the time. Do you?
No, you don't. Actually, I was wearing, when I arrived, I was wearing a t-shirt, these jackets, and the down jacket right here, the blue one here. And that was enough for me at the beginning. But then the more I went, the more I understood the purpose of the gears I had. The more I was wearing, when I was traveling, I was wearing the shell, because the shell really protected me from the wind. So this one combined with the shell, combined with this one, was very, very efficient to protect you from the cold. This one, it was when it was extreme cold. On the last day, we had a wind of around 60 kilometers per hour, if I'm not mistaken. So it felt like minus 35. So we needed this. It was burning the face. It was very, very, not to be anyone to be scared of applying for Polar. It's a very, very nice opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and to be out in nature. Everyone needs it, and I think everyone should apply.
I think it's interesting what you say, that you learn how to adjust your clothing system. Was that something that you knew before you went, or did you learn along the way?
I learned along the way, and I learned as well with you guys explaining what was the purpose of the gears we had. So if you listen, if you're a bit consistent on listening and understanding what's the purpose, and also not the part of not getting too hot because you get wet and stuff. It was never the case. We never get too hot, except in this one. And it was a good way to learn on site, to know which gears you needed at the right time, at the right moment.
So also, when we talk about the clothing system, something that we have not talked so much about yet is the physical challenge. Would you say this is more of a physical challenge or a mental challenge?
It's both, but you need to be a bit physical, or try to train a little bit, change your routine in order to do that, because it's not, we are talking about dog sledding, but it's not only the dogs who run. They run when we we go flat on flat land. But when you go uphill in the mountains, then you need to help them. You need to run, you need to push in snow with very big boots. And in order to do that, you need to have the physical, a bit of physical training to get your muscles used to being in such condition, to such effort, because you have your foot inside the snow coming up. It's a very big workout, and if you're not used to it, you can damage yourself, you can hurt yourself. So a good thing is that you be a bit physical and mental. Of course, you need to be used to getting out of your comfort zone, and to know how to even in the hardest moments, to focus on yourself and go in Swedish, go framåt. Okay.
Go forward.
Go for it. Yeah. But it was a good experience. And if you train mentally, like for example, for me, my experience was taking cold shower, for example, exposing to cold, trying to fast as much as possible to help my body say, okay, it doesn't have food, but it can still go. So yeah, it's a bit of a training. Not everyone did this, although, but everyone went through Polar. But it's a good idea to have if you go do Polar. That's it.
So you also brought another piece of equipment.
That's a funny one because no one wore this in Polar except a few of us, and I thought it was a funny one. I really like this hat. Not everyone was daring because it's a very different hat than just a regular cap, but I really like it, and it reminds me of Polar, and it reminds me of the musher that we had that we were wearing it. So yeah, it's nice.
But I think these two are two very good examples of equipment. They are developed with a specific purpose to protect you. You know, the cap has a lot of functionality built into it. You can protect your ears. It protects you from the sun, which can also be a hazard when you're out in the very bright conditions that we have up at Polar if the sun is out. And you brought out the eye protection as well, which is super relevant in order to not expose yourself to snow blindness. I think there are good examples of equipment that you need to handle and to know how to use. And specifically this jacket, I think, is also very interesting with all the details and the hard wearing details that makes it specifically useful for dog sledding. But it also gives us as a brand and a company a lot of knowledge and experience that we can put into other products and developments that are useful in not so extreme conditions, but having concepts and details tested in this environment is super useful in order to continue to develop products that works not only in the extreme conditions but also for more closer adventures to your home. Getting prepared for Fjällräven Polar, this is what this whole show is all about, right? And to find the new people that goes to Fjällräven Polar in 2024. That's super exciting. And you have experience of that too, Jan.
Yes.
How was the application process for you?
So it was surprisingly easy.
Yeah.
Because in a sense it was 3 challenges to answer, one every 1 or 2 weeks, and it was an opportunity for me to express myself, to show who I am, why I was wanting to attend Fjällräven Polar, and also all my motivation and show my personality, my creativity through it. And I think that's really motivation, personality, and creativity. That's what's made me win this competition. Doesn't mean that that's what I really liked about Fjällräven Polar application, is that you don't need to have a huge audience or even any audience to be there. My audience is very small. I don't even have one, but it's just why you want to be there. Be creative and show yourself as you are, and come with it, and you may win. That was the message, and I won, and I was happy. It was the first time I applied to Fjällräven Polar, and I won, and I was a very happy moment, I would say.
Do you remember what you did that day when you found out that you got your spot?
So I was working, but I received a message, a DM, congratulations, from someone that I don't know, and I say, well, congratulations for what? And he said, you won. and then I understood that, and then I watched the live, and I was
So from today you can start your application for Fjällräven Polar 2024. You need an Instagram account and it has to be public. And you're going to have 3 challenges presented for you. And every challenge you hashtag Fjällräven Polar 2024. And you also hashtag challenge 1, 2 or 3, depending on what challenge it is.
And you post it as a post. You can't only do it as a story or something like that. So it has to be an actual post on your
proper
Instagram,
post on your
app.
Instagram account. Yes. Exciting.
Boom.
Boom.
We're gonna show the first challenge in just a little bit of time. But before that, we actually have another guest coming in, and we're gonna talk a little bit more about life above the Arctic Circle.
Yes.
So again, thanks a lot, John, for being with us here today.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very
Super
happy. Exciting
time now coming ahead, finding a new team for Fjällräven Polar.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see. And if anyone has questions, just drop them. I will answer definitely. And from my experience, any question you have, you wonder about the trip or about the application, about anything, just send them at @Mercer_John. And I will answer them.
Super.
Thank you.
And we do have a lot of questions coming in, but please just keep on posting the questions and we'll try to answer them all along the way.
Now we have a very special guest here in the studio, or actually there are 2 very special guests. Super welcome Anna Norman.
Thank you.
And Harley.
Yeah, Harley.
You have been a musher at Fjällräven Polar for how many years?
I think it was 2013, the first one I did, as a guide. It's quite some years.
Quite a few years, yeah. And how many editions has Harley made?
Harley, I think you've been on 5 at least. 5 or 6 it is, yeah. So he's 8 years now. So really nice dog.
Yeah,
experienced.
He's, experienced, and he's a lead dog, right?
Yeah, he's a leader dog, yeah. So he's important there in the front, as the rest of the team as well. But it's.
What's the special traits that you look for in a lead dog?
I mean, it's a little bit different, different personalities. I mean, you want to have a good connection with the dog, and I mean, you should. The dog need to trust you, and you need to trust the dog to. I mean, you're going through different situations and different weathers, and that can be challenging. And so you want to have a dog that's comfortable in the front, because it can be tough, of course, if it's windy and so on. But you want to have a dog that's comfortable in the front to lead the rest of the team together with you. Yeah.
Has he been a leader dog all the way since he started?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we usually swap them around a little bit so they can try out different positions, and it's good for them not only to be in the front, and so it's good to move them around a little bit. It's nice for them as well.
So everyone, they have about 6 dogs in a team. How do you choose the 6 dogs?
I mean, what's important is of course the dynamic of the team. You want to have a good dynamic, and it's nice also when we are a team and we want to travel as a group, and we want to make sure that nobody gets left behind and everybody's kind of moving in a nice pace. And so good dynamic in the team, and then kind of have the equal kind of strength in the team, so all the teams can work together, kind of, and move in the same pace.
And in case if that doesn't really work out along the way during an adventure like Polar, what can you do as a musher?
Yeah, I mean, you can move dogs around, and that's really good to train dogs, to have them in different positions. You can move them around, and just by moving some dogs, you can get another other pace in the team, for example, or maybe you need to move some equipment from the sleds and make sure it's kind of equal weight in the sleds.
So John mentioned before that it's a lot of energy around the dogs. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, they love what they're doing, and their way of showing like excitement. They're just jumping and they want to go forward. For them, it's they think it's really fun, and then you see how they're jumping, and they want to run.
And we're traveling over a lot of days. We are camping in tents. How about the dogs?
Yeah, it's a lot. This what we have here is some like Harley. He's an Alaskan Husky, and it's a mixed type of Husky breed, and they're bred for being in. It's a polar breed, so they're bred for being in the Arctic regions, and and you breed on the qualities like the fur and so on, so they manage good in the cold, so to say. And for those dogs that you need to wear a coat, and you put on a coat, and if it's colder, you put on all dogs a coat. And
we also see that when we go on this adventure, for the same as us, the sun can be really challenges. How does that affect the dogs?
Yeah, of course. If it's sunny, and the sun and the snow reflects the sun, and it gets warmer days probably. And it's important for them to stay hydrated, the same as all the mushers. And it can also be challenging, of course, if it's getting warm. But then we move slower.
Yeah. What does the year for a dog look like?
I was about to ask.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, me too. What does it do?
In the winter time it's obvious, but what happens in the summertime?
Yeah, summertime it's still training going on, and then of course due to the temperature we decide the training, which if it's too warm we can't do like heavy training or anything like that. But it's a lot of free running and walks down to the river, and we train with quad bikes during the colder days. And so it's like it's an ongoing. They're athletes, so you need to keep them in shape, and they love activity and love to move in different ways. Jumping and playing and pulling, and yeah.
But when you say training, it's very obvious for you.
Yeah.
But for us, when you say training, what does it mean?
Yeah, training, like pre-season training is training with, you can use like a cart, you can use a four-wheeler, and then you hook them up in the same way like you do in front of the sled, and then you go out with them, and then you start slower, and then you add on the kilometers, and depending on the temperatures and so on, and you can do different type of training, It's good little bit variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then free running is really nice, so they can jump and play with each other.
Do you think we will see Harley at Fjällräven Polar 2024?
Oh yeah, he will be on. He will be there. He will be there.
You're looking forward, Harley?
Yeah.
I sure am.
It's quite chill.
Yeah. So, like as a guide and a musher, what's the highlight with Fjällräven Polar for you?
Well, I think it's all these. You have all these people that's really excited about it, and it's totally new for them. Most of them maybe never been out in the cold, and it's a lot of. It's a lot of information, of course, for them, not only to, sleep in tents and being outside and, eat and go to toilet. It's like driving dogs and taking care of the dogs and working in a team. So, it's to be a guide and to help them guide through that with the mushing part is super fun. It's, yeah, it's really fun.
How much food would Holly eat during a day?
Oh,
Do you know how many calories he burns?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, a sled dog that's like really high active and maybe running a race and such, they can burn really much calories, like way much more than us, and they need a lot of energy, of course. But he maybe can eat 1.5 kilo, but it's spread out during the day, and depends a little bit of how he's running and how the temperature outside is, and then it's a mix of dry food and it's meat. And
What is on his menu for a day?
he get dry food kibbles, and then you have different kinds of meat. So it can be salmon, it can be chicken, it can be beef, but chicken and salmon is really good fat, which is really important for them. And and then of course water in the food. They need to have a lot of water to stay hydrated as well. So it's but you need to variate the food, and you depend how much they're working and how the temperatures are as well. So it's kind of it's always kind of changing. So different dogs have different needs and need different kind of intake in a way. But it's much food, yeah.
So I mean, we talked about how to regulate clothing for people earlier. How do the dogs regulate their temperature? They have one set of clothes.
Yeah, they have one set of clothes, and they have pretty thick fur. They get pretty thick coat during winter time and have this under wool layer, and of course they when they're running, they through their breathing and pause and so, but.
And then they roll in the snow, right?
Yeah, they roll in the snow. They can roll in the snow and eat snow and to cool down and such things, yeah.
So and I mean, if you put cold water inside of a warm body, it takes a little bit of energy, and so to equalize that, and that's a way of cooling down.
Yeah.
And that goes for both men and dog, I would say. But that means that if you are really warm, you can drink cold. But if you're cold, you rather drink warm to stay on a comfortable level, right? Yeah.
We have been talking a lot about what gear and equipment to bring for Fjällräven Polar. But regarding the dogs, what type of equipment do you bring for the dogs?
Oh, well, it can be quite a lot, but you need the harness, of course. You need booties, like socks to put on their feet in case they need that. And you bring extra lines, and you have all the dog food stuff, like cooler, like where you mix the dog food in, and you have dog food kitchen and first aid, and pretty much the same like for people, and dog food bowls, like it's did I say coats? Yeah. I don't know. It's a long list, of course. You need you have like massage oils and paw cream, and it's a little bit different.
So what else is in the first aid kit for the dogs?
Well, it's pretty similar to for humans, so to say. It's like you have the compress and you have the bandage and some extra stuff if it happens anything.
So we heard John talking a little bit about that you need to support the dogs from time to time when it gets steeper or it's a lot of snow. But how do you actually steer the dogs then?
Well, the leader dogs, we're steering the leader dogs with commands. So we have G for right and H for left, and that's the command they're listening to. And then forward they just want, so they go forward.
And if you want to brake then?
Well, then you tell them a little bit heads up before you brake, because that's also not something you train on. So you maybe say stop, and then you slowly brake when you're gonna stop. But
And then, I mean, driving is one thing, but when you come to camp, that's like when they go to rest and we start to work, right?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you need to do to take care of the dogs when you come to camp?
Well, so it's always like dogs first. So
Yeah.
I mean, first we park them up and make sure everybody get their space, and everybody we take them from the sled to another line and put the coats on, and then start to prepare the food. So they can get the food, and so they can rest as quick as possible. And yeah, so it's and then you wait a few hours, and then it's snacking time again. And yeah, so it's and always checking the dogs, of course, so they have it well, and everybody's fine.
So we were talking a little bit about it before, about the leader dog and the other dogs in the team. But what types of personalities are you looking for when you put the team together?
Yeah, you find all different kinds of personality, and I mean, it's like you can find among us also. I mean, and you want to have a good dynamic in the team. So what I prefer is maybe not what you prefer in your team, but it's like you want to have a good dynamic, and different personalities is kind of creating a good environment, dynamic, and then I mean you swap around until you feel like the dog team is moving nicely forward, and nobody's looking back and annoyed at their friend or anything, and like, so you want to have a good dynamic, and then you just pair them up and then you go.
So it's super exciting to see Harley next time coming up.
He will probably be more excited.
Yeah. I mean, this is not his natural environment, sitting in the studio.
Yeah. Doing good though.
So if you have any questions in regards to the dogs or to Anna, you can post them, and we'll attend to them sequentially. Thank you, Anna, and thank you very much, Harley, for making the effort to come to the Polar studio. So if you guys want to hang out a week with Anna, Harley, Sofia, and me and the team, it's time to focus on how to apply. So we're going to present the first challenge to you guys, and then we're also going to repeat all the requirements that you need to attend to in order to make a complete and hopefully successful application. We'd love you to tell the story of your local environment. What does your home turf mean to you? What features makes it unique? And in what ways might you ensure that it's looked after in the future? So the only time the sled dogs are this quiet or quieter is when they are really resting.
Or being in Stockholm, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. So what you need to do is to sign up through our website, and you have to submit both your name and email and Instagram account in order to be able to submit a successful application. And furthermore, in order for the jury to be able to actually watch your submissions, you need to have a public account on Instagram, and you need to hashtag each post that you make with the right hashtags. Hashtag Fjällräven Polar 2024, together with hashtag challenge 1, hashtag challenge 2, and hashtag challenge 3 for the different challenges. So do you have any good tips, or if you were to make an application, how would you address that?
Well, I think that first of all, you have to realize that the jury, they will have to look through a lot of applications. So my one advice would be just to be yourself. I mean, this whole adventure is about going outside your comfort zone. So this is a good idea to start now with that. Just show your own personality, and most importantly of all, I think, just to have fun. This is supposed to be a fun experience, and hopefully you will actually gain some long-lasting friendships along the way. And how about you?
Yeah, I think with the experience from going through a lot of applications, you know, we look for, as you say, creativity and to express yourself and your personality, but also, you know, that you actually make your effort with create your content for Fjällräven Polar rather than compiling a lot of holiday memories or something like that. You have to address the challenge in a proper way, and if you do specific content for the challenge, then it has a much greater chance to stand out, I think. And the important thing is not, you know, how many followers you have on social media, or if you are a professional photographer or video creator or anything like that. The things you can do with your own mobile phone is definitely good enough if you just have an idea on what you would want to say and how to respond to the challenge. That's the important thing. So today we will post the first challenge that you'll have to respond to, and then each week we will post a new challenge. There will be in total 3 challenges that you need to respond to, and all challenges need to be posted on your Instagram account with the right hashtags, latest on November 19th. And then you also need to have a public account for the jury to be able to view the posts that you have made.
You can still post questions for us here in the studio, so if you have any more questions, just post them and we will reply as soon as we can. And for now, we just want to wish you all good luck.
Yes, very much good luck, and see you hopefully
At Fjällräven Polar.
It's probably the most relaxed I've been for probably 4 or 5 years.
If you look around, we're on the top of the world.
I have no words.
I'm exhausted.